Dear friends, praise the Lord. My name is Deni Prakash. How many of you have fallen from your cycle or from your bike? Definitely you might have. And you might have faced several injuries because of the consequence. Here we have an unwanted guest who fallen from a higher heights, from angel to Lucifer, whom we address him as Satan now. He has fallen from his responsibility. He is our unwanted guest for today's meditation, Mr. Irresponsibility. The passage is taken from Isaiah chapter 14, verses from 12 to 15. 14, 12 to 15. Isaiah identifies the king of Babylon as Lucifer here, son of the morning. Whether it is Lucifer or king of Babylon, what is important is one should not fail from his responsibility. When God has called, chosen, commissioned to be responsible, you cannot be irresponsible and you cannot take it lightly. Remember, if an angel could fail from his responsibility, what about you and me? We should be watchful. Pray to him that we will not be irresponsible. Let us see what happens to this irresponsible person. Three things. First of all, let's see that he slips from his responsibility. If you read from 12 to 15, it says, for you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. His focus shifts. He slips away from his responsibility. You are not called to ascend into heaven, but he wants to ascend into heaven. Secondly, he sins from his responsibility. His intention shifts. If you read, it says, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the furthest sides of the north. He covets the throne of God. Thou shalt not covet. You should be responsible to your own work. Don't think about somebody else's work. That is his responsibility or her responsibility. Not only that, he steps down from his responsibility. His desire shifts. He says, I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. And he says, I will be like the Most High. We cannot be God. We cannot claim ourselves as God. So he fails from his responsibility. So he slips away from his responsibility, sins from his responsibility, and steps down from his responsibility. He fails from his responsibility because he wanted glory, he wanted honor, he wanted attention. How many of us are attention seekers, glory seekers, honor seekers by failing from our responsibility? Just want to gain the glory from people, just want to get the attention of the people. We might have fallen from our responsibility. Let's be watchful. Confess that God will set things right. Because of self-ambition, because of self-focus, because of self-possession, the angel became Lucifer. Lucifer was given a very, very important responsibility. A high, holy, heavenly responsibility. To worship God, he fails. He had to face huge consequences. First of all, he lost his holy place. He lost his service. He lost his holy God. The highest he wanted to go, the lowest he was brought down by God. The humble person shall be lifted by God. Satan fell from glorified to profane. This is the first fall. Ezekiel 28, 14 to 16. But if you see the rest of the consequence, it is too huge, you cannot bear. If you read in Job 1:12, we see Satan will fall from having access to heaven to restriction on earth. Revelation 12:9. We see Satan will fall from his place on earth to bondage in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. Revelation 20:1-3. Huge consequence. Not only that, finally we see in 14:12 Isaiah, where we read that Satan will fall from the bottomless pit to the lake of fire, which we commonly call as hell. Revelation 20:10. Too much. The consequence is too much. Never be irresponsible when you are given small or big responsibility. It is God-given responsibility. Remember, responsibility is your response to God's ability. Because whenever a responsibility is given, it is given by God. God-given responsibility for God's service, for God's glory. Just be responsible. Let's pray. Lord Jesus, help me that I will never be irresponsible. Doesn't matter how small responsibility I have. In Jesus' name, amen.